Hello, my friends. This is Andy at what am I at today? Today's CBD Wellness or the Facebook Live TV show? Actually, neither one. I'm coming to you live just as Andy because just over the last 2 days or so, maybe it's just mostly today, I've been feeling overwhelmed with this feeling of gratitude for so many people in my life, so many events in my life. And I know this may seem a little strange, but I just want to come on and, tell you guys that I'm just grateful for, if you're watching this, you are in my life. For some reason, we've either gone to high school together, or we were police officers together, or you were a dispatcher, or somebody else that I work with. Maybe I helped you write a book. Maybe you've bought one of my books and somehow we've become connected. Maybe you go to my church. I mean, there's so many things. And that is the thing, is that over the last couple of days, I've had so many opportunities to do so many things that I just figured I got to come out and say, not come out. I got to come out to you guys and just say how thankful I am. I mean, I was at church the other day and I'm walking down the hallway after church. We saw Nick Foley, who was a Super Bowl winning quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles, and walking down the hallway, and a gentleman walks up to me and says, "Hey, Andy." And I look up, I go, "Oh my gosh, I hadn't seen this gentleman in a long time." He was a first explorer at the Anaheim Police Department. He used to go on ride-alongs with me as a kid. And he just said, told his family about me, and even wrote me a really nice text message that I'm sure I haven't replied to yet. I do that a lot. So if you text me and I don't reply, I apologize. I'm going to get better at it, I think, one of these days when I grow up. And I just somehow I feel like it's possible that I made an impact on him somehow or another, that 30 years, 40 years later, I'm not sure how many years it's been, that he sees me in the hallway and wanted to come by and say hi and tell me his family about how he used to go on ride-alongs with me when he was a kid, an explorer. I have this great opportunity coming up that I've kind of shared on a Facebook post, but not really told anybody what it's about. But I have an event coming up with a very popular YouTuber, giving me an opportunity in a specific area. Again, don't want to say too much, because when you do that and then they don't happen, then everybody's like, "Hey, what happened to that thing?" Well, it never happened. But it's an opportunity, and it looks like it's going through. I've gone through a whole bunch of things to help with this event, and it looks like it's going to happen. Just got done with an appointment with a doctor who asked me eventually to help him. He knows me from the CBD business. He carries some of the products. He has asked me to help him with his broadcasting, putting together a YouTube channel, how to start a show, how to put together a couple of videos to help further his authority in his niche. Just as I sat down, I got a message from the owner of a restaurant in Anaheim who has an event coming up, who wants me to help out with that event. Again, kind of unrelated to either CBD nor broadcasting, but wants to help another event. And I just have to smile and say, again, just so thankful for all of you that are in my life that I have met or either helped me get to where I have all these options. And some days I think it's too many options. All right. I want to make sure and tell those of you that are maybe just getting started and trying to figure out what you're going to do when you grow up, is that, maybe pick one thing and become great at that thing. That's always the message, right? It's like the In-N-Out Burger analogy that I've used many times, where they do one thing and they do it great, and they're greatly successful at that one thing. They're really hugely successful. As a matter of fact, the people that work In-N-Out Burger in the each individual restaurant, the management and even the cooks and everybody, make a fairly good wage, if not a fantastic wage, for a fast food restaurant. And that is because In-N-Out Burger does one thing and they do it well. So I would encourage you to do that. Don't do what I do, which is a number of things. Now, don't get me wrong. I charge a fairly large amount of money for some of the things I do, and not as much for some of the other things that I do. But it's just how it's happened. Let me show you a picture. This is another picture that I saw, and it just made me think. Here's a picture of me. Let me make it solo, make it a little bit bigger. That's a picture of me getting my badge from the chief of police, Jimmy D, I think. No, Jimmy D Kennedy, right? If anybody's on from Anaheim Police Department, the middle initial, I think it's Jimmy D. I could be getting that wrong, but it's Jimmy Kennedy, former chief of police at Anaheim Police Department, giving me my badge. And I was wondering, who thought to give that 14-year-old kid a gun and the keys to a police car and said, "Hey, go fight crime." That cracked me up. But I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. But that day, I can remember as if it happened yesterday. I had way more hair. As a matter of fact, I had hair those days. People said, "Man, you'll never have to worry about hair loss." And they lied. They lied. Oh, look at that flag in the background. Look at this right here. Okay, this is the 1984 Olympics. I worked the 1984 Olympics. So before this picture, I was also a reserve police officer, and then I became a full-time police officer. Can you believe that? 2 years. This is 2 years after I started in police work. So I looked even younger before that picture when I was a reserve police officer. But the reason I show you that is, oops, sorry. Hold on, one more time. There we go. Is because I think of that kid getting a gun and the keys to a police car, going out fighting crime. And what has happened since then? So many things have happened since I got into the K9 program. I became obsessed with police dog training, dog training. I created one of the most successful dog training businesses possible, in the sense that we were training a wide range of dogs. We didn't just train pet dogs. We didn't just train police dogs. We didn't just train narcotics detection dogs or bomb detection dogs. But we also trained bed bug detection dogs, E. coli salmonella detection dogs, therapy dogs. We even trained dogs to do tricks. Oh my gosh, all my phone things are coming off. Oh, jeez, shut up. And this is one of the other people that I'm grateful for that's calling right now, that gave me the opportunity to speak at a bunch of doctors in Nashville, Tennessee. So I go from training dogs, police dogs, pet dogs, all this kind of stuff, traveling all over the world, buying dogs in Slovak Republic, Czechoslovakia, flying there several times, bringing back 9 to 10 dogs at a time, just doing some incredible things. Right. One thing for sure is that I had the desire, the drive. I didn't want to fail. I always wanted to succeed. I always wanted to be the best I possibly be at the things that I was doing. And that always is a driving factor. And that's why I'm always like thinking about people that I can't find a job. I don't know what to do. I can't do this. I can't be successful. You can. I found a way to be successful in something as silly as dog training. I became successful in silly as something as doing live broadcasting. I was at a doctor's office in Orange, California, helping a doctor put together a broadcast idea for his show as a doctor in that particular niche that he's successful in. And these are all things that you just do. You just create. There's no school. I didn't go to university to become a dog trainer. I didn't go to a university to become this live broadcasting person who's spoken on stage and a bunch of other different things, to become an expert in police dog crime cases. I didn't go to university for that. And so I'm often perplexed by people who say that I don't know what to do. I can't make any money. I can't get a job. BS. You just need to have the desire and maybe a low point in order to get to that point where you can be successful in those things. You just got to do it. Hey, Dave Everett, nice to see you. I just texted you a message asking you what you're doing. I'm drinking Bud Light for the beer show. Yeah, so this is just the beer show. I have an 805. I rarely have 805. You would think I'd have a more, I don't know, but 805 is not a bad beer. It's actually pretty good. I went to the NASCAR races and had a Busch. And every time I ordered the Busch, I laughed. Does that say something about the Beavis and Butthead side of my head? So if I could become a guy that can charge what I'm able to charge on the expert thing, and I laugh at things like ordering a Busch at the NASCAR races, you can be successful. But that's not my point of doing the show. My point is knowing people like Dave Everett. Dave Everett is a neighbor of mine. He invited me to go to the Kings game the other day. We went to the Kings game, had a fantastic time. How did that become possible? It became possible because I was able to be a police officer. I was able to build some of my knowledge that I got from being a police officer, created a dog training business. I'm able to afford to live in Orange County, California, in this neighborhood that I live in now, and meet people like Dave, which led me to the Kings game. All of this stuff leads you to the next things that you're able to do this stuff. So I wanted to come on and tell people that maybe are struggling right now that, be happy in your struggle, have joy in your struggle, that something good quite possibly could become of that thing. The ability to know how to do live broadcasting, how to create podcasts, how to create a YouTube channel, how to create a Facebook live channel, how to do those things comes from failure. That failure was my business, the security company that I created that nearly cost me everything. I nearly lost the house that I'm sitting in right now. I did lose my marriage, but it's not just because of that. It's because of other shenanigans. And that probably didn't help. It is that failure that forced me to go to San Diego, sleep in my car in a parking structure to attend a conference of marketers who taught me how to market myself better to become a best-selling author and then create a TV show on YouTube wasn't, or Facebook wasn't around then, but it's YouTube and other platforms like Blab and Meerkat and that kind of stuff. And to be able to do that, it was because of that failure that I took myself, slept in my truck, went to that seminar for 3 days, came back and built something from that. And now able to teach doctors. I have shows that I've helped roofers create, which we have a show called Cody on the Roof that we used to do, where we would film Cody on a roof talking about a roof and their ability to help people with their roofing problems, to exterminators, to who else have I have? Doctors and attorneys create their shows and created this other form of income where I can help people on a small scale to a much larger scale. This thing that I'm going to be doing with the YouTuber is a large scale thing. This particular broadcaster has in the millions of followers and subscribers, which I'm going to have the opportunity to be a part of, which is a huge opportunity. Where does that stuff come from? It comes from just simply, taking failure and turning it around and turning it into a level of success. Success in many ways. There's many things that I'm still struggling with, especially with that time where I nearly lost my business that came up today. I got a phone call about something from whatever it is, 6 years ago, that is still kind of one of those weights that keeps pulling me back. So I got a phone call from an attorney. Usually my attorney calls are good ones, right? They want to give me money. This attorney they wanted money. And it's one of those lingering things that I just can't seem to get out from under that still pop up from time to time. And so I'm not saying that it's always going to be a bowl of flowers. Is that what you say? A bowl of cherries? A bowl of cherries. I think that's the better way of putting it. You only saw my second drink on camera. And so take the adversity, take these moments of failure, of just being miserable, ride that wave, get over that, figure out what it is that you can do to take that experience and then learn from it and then build something on top of it and then come out of it on top. Because they're going to happen. There's no way, I think, in this world of coronavirus, which I'm seeing on Fox News, that's over on the other side of the camera, that it's just going to happen. There's always going to be these things that are going to come up. They're going to trip you up. They're going to cause you grief. And then there's going to be something that good could come out of it. Not my entire time with the police department were fantastic. A lot of my time with the police department was freaking great. It's great being a cop. Sometimes I can tell you, you can have a really good time chasing bad guys, catching bad guys, tackling bad guys, having your dog bite bad guys. My dog bit 75 people in the act of arresting felony suspects in the city of Anaheim in a fairly short career. No canine handler in Anaheim prior nor after will ever reach the number of people that my dog was able to take into custody. It was just a different time, and we were working 5 days a week at that time too, an entirely different world. And so the experience that I gained from doing all that helped me teach and be an expert in courts involving dogs and drug arrests and that kind of stuff. And so that's another great opportunity. So I just want to come on and say I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for the failures that I've had and the really bad times because they've enabled me to create some pretty cool things following those failures and that kind of stuff. So I want to come on and have a beer. Toast a beer to all of you. Dave Everett, my neighbor, took me to the Kings game with his two sons. It was fantastic. We had a great time at that game. It was a great game. Went into overtime, went to a shootout. Kings won. Everything was fantastic about it. It was a goalies game where it was 0-0 into overtime. It couldn't have been better. It is rare to have that good a time at a game where nobody scores during the game, and then to have the Kings win. It was fantastic. And then some great events before or after. I mean, that just made it an all around really good night. To the message I got from my friends over at the White House restaurant, are asking me to help them with an event on Saturday. I'm not sure that I can do it, but I might. I'm going to give it a go to see if I can help them out with it. Again, these are all things that I'm just so thankful for, and I can't say enough. So a little bit of gratitude. I want to toast this kid that looks like he's 14 getting a gun. Oops, getting a gun and a badge from the chief of police. Who the hell is that guy? And what the hell happened? What happened to that hair? Damn it. And that skin. Oh, it's coming back with Beleza. Beleza is helping me come back with that skin. Right here, Beleza. Oh, the other thing is I walked in the doctor's office, and what does he have? He has my products, the Viseo CBD1 and the CBD cream on a display. He sells it. He's doing a great job of displaying it and making it available to people. Again, another opportunity. I've been telling you people about this opportunity with Viseo for a very long time. It's you can have an opportunity to get in business with an international distribution company that sells fantastic products. The products have saved my life. I was talking to the doctor today and telling him my story about how prior to Viseo, I was in such pain, the depression and anxiety that I was having, some of it from the problems that I had with that company that crashed and burned, right? You have a lot of anxiety when you're losing hundreds of thousands and nearly $1.5 million in one shot. It was awesome. You can't believe the anxiety and depression you get from something like that happening in your life. And what a difference. And I'm waving over here because this is where all my products are. I have all these boxes of the Viseo and V3 and CBD1 all over here on this side of the desk. And what a difference this stuff can make in someone's life. And the opportunity that you have before you is just to get a hold of me, and I can get you in the business and you can start going. It takes work. Everything takes work. Nothing just happens. And I think that's one of the things that I wanted to make sure and talk about before I sign off, is that nothing in regard to success and being successful, getting out of a hole even, and just being, at a certain level of just keeping your head above water. Just keeping your head above water will take work. Now, some people can write one song and become world famous and multimillionaires. Some people can put together one video and go viral and become a YouTube sensation and make a good living for quite a long time, right? That can happen. But the likelihood of it happening is very slim. So if you're going to keep your head above water to above that, to being successful, to being a multimillionaire, a billionaire, it's going to take work, no matter what it is you choose to do. So after the failure of my security business, first of all, creating a business like that security company that went from 5 employees to 500 employees in about 3 weeks, to doing security for Coachella Fest and Stagecoach and Comic-Con and some other huge companies along the way, and getting all those contracts in a very short period of time. It didn't just happen. It took work, right? You had to go meet the people, take the people out to lunch, take them out to dinner. We did a lot of that, landed the contracts. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to articulate how you're going to be able to make their event a success with good security, with no hiccups and no injuries and no rapes or none of that stuff, how your security is going to keep everybody safe, including the artist and the guests alike, right? You have to be able to do that. So everything takes work. To sell Viseo takes a little bit of work, and you have to actually put effort into it, and to think about it, and to contact people, and to be forward moving in the act of gaining customers and brand partners, to learning how to do Facebook Live. You have to learn all the pieces of equipment, how to edit video, how to, use the algorithms, how to do a Google search and find the keywords that you're going to put in your title and your description, how to become a #1 best-selling author. You got to write the book, right? You got to put it together. You got to put the cover together, the title together, the subtitle together. Make sure you choose the right title. Make sure you choose the right subtitle. Make sure you use the right formatting as you're uploading it to Kindle, as you're uploading it to a printed format, right? Are you going to use a matte finish for your cover so that on television it doesn't get a glare, and when you hold up your book, it doesn't matter how they hold it up, people are going to see it, as opposed to a shiny finish on a book. Some people like the shiny finished book because it looks pretty cool as you hand it to somebody, right? But on television, you have to make sure to hold it a certain way because the lights are going to reflect off it, and all these things take thought. And so I'm telling you all this because I want you to know that nothing comes easily. Right? We watch these people who write one song and become successful. We watch these people who make one video and become viral sensation, make millions of dollars. That's just not a practical way to think that is going to be you. If it happens, it's fantastic. The problem is you have to be ready for work. That at some point you're going to have to, roll up your sleeves. You're going to have to use some elbow grease. You're going to have to actually do the work, or have enough money to hire the people to do the work for you to actually become successful in what it is you want to do. Oh, thank you. Ever? I don't know how I missed this before. Even though you smelled great. What? Wrong? I'm gonna toast to that. I appreciate that. I know what you meant to say. You may have meant to say I'm great. Fuck your friendship, Andy. I'm not sure, but either way, it makes me laugh. And so grateful. You and Michelle have been fantastic friends and neighbors. I remember the night I met Michelle with Dave. Just so happy that they are now married and happy, and everything's going so well. So anyway, that was just funny. I had to post that. I'm not sure if I can have a drink yet with you, David. I want to. I made another after I didn't hear from you. I made a really quick appointment with one of my dog trainers who now runs Falco Canine Academy in Orange County. We're having a really quick meeting to talk about some of the things she's going through. Again, another thing. I have this trainer who is one of my customers. This person came to me as a customer. She liked what we did. She then became a trainer with Falco Canine Academy, and now she is an owner of Falco Canine Academy Orange County, which is an offshoot of Falco Canine Academy, where we have collaborated and we partnered up on her business. And now she's growing the business, which is good for me too, which I'm thankful. And I will be seeing her in just a couple minutes to talk about what we're going to be doing. She will benefit from this YouTube thing that we're doing, and it all comes around in a big gigantic circle. We're going to meet at Whole Foods. So David, that's where we're going to be, is Whole Foods for about a half hour, 45 minutes, hour, and then maybe I'll see you afterwards. All right, so I cannot stop with, I can just go on with what's happened. April Branscombe, who just called me right now, again, the person who puts together Revitalize Your Practice with a bunch of doctors, brought me up to speak in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been there 3 times, I think it is now, to speak to a bunch of doctors, which has given me countless opportunities, because I decided to get into the CBD business, because I decided to write a book about CBD. Then I put together a presentation that I could speak upon CBD and the endocannabinoid system. All took a little bit of work, but it caused me to have this authority now in the CBD space. And again, just being grateful for all these different things. If anybody to watch this who didn't know me and they're going, wait a minute, a second ago you're talking about dog training. Wait, a second ago you're talking about police work. Wait, a second ago you're talking about YouTube and podcasting and live video. Wait, you have helped people write a book? Wait, how many books have you written? Wait a minute. You speak to doctors? Wait a minute. I don't know what you do. Sometimes I don't know what I do. I understand that. But the thing you do need to know is that that's just how it happened. And there's so many people in my life that I want to thank, even the ex-wives on some level. David's probably going, oh no, really? It's the adversity and the things I learned with those folks has been another thing that I can take and learn from and teach others. All right, so just wanted to come on, say thanks to you all. I didn't have any particular agenda coming on the show, obviously, because I spoke about all kinds of different things. It'll make no sense probably when I go back and watch it tomorrow, and I may have to delete it. But I was just driving home from my appointment with the doctor. Just wanted to come on and say thank you to all of you. And again, tell you how grateful I am and thankful for everyone that has crossed my path over the last several years. And if I've made a difference in your life, I'm grateful for that too. So, all right. That is all. I'll take care, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.